Okay, Hyundai iLoad, sound check. Got our sound meter here. Okay, turn it on. Okay, so at idle 82. Give it a rev up to 2000. Okay. A lot of rattle from that thing. Okay, let's try the LDV. Okay, LDV sound check. Okay, start it up. A little bit quieter, 76. Okay, give it a rev to 2000, please. Okay, lay off. Okay, take it up to 15. $2,000. Okay, take it to 0 and then to 2,000. Sorry, idle to 2,000. Go, do it again. Idle. 2,000 again. And that's it. So I could clearly see the meter was peaking up to about 100. Got a lot of rattly, tappety type noise and a bit of motor shake on it. A little bit more than the iLoad, in my opinion. Once it warms up, it sounds better, but yeah, the iLoad motor seems to do that a little bit more quieter. Other people have reported that this motor has done 200,000 without missing a beat, so although it makes noise and it might rattle a bit, you really got to wait and see how it goes. Video from Dr. Lock. Okay, so I'm driving the LDV G10 for the first time. Sorry about the camera work, because I tried to mount my camera on the dash and it was just too much in the way and all these sorts of things. So I just wanted to give you a review on what it feels like to drive this car from new, and I'll just make a few points about it. At the moment it's still pretty cold, so we're just putting along here. So one of the things I noticed is that it's good on power. I can get it up to speed okay, but as soon as I let my foot off the accelerator, it feels like the brakes are on. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the problem is. The brakes are on because they haven't been bedded in, and this car's only done 38 kilometers. So, the brakes are probably slightly on until they wear in and allow it to go past the friction. So I'm getting I guess you could say, friction from the brake pads right now. Like, I've laid off and look at it. I've lost 10 Ks. It's not rolling. It's not rolling. So that's one of the things I just wanted to quickly say. The next thing is, I haven't bolted in my fridge. The next thing is with the indicators, it's on the left-hand side, if you can see here. So I'm doing it all from here, which is okay. That's fine with the European cars. The next thing is we did a little bit of a noise test on it, and as you can see, it's a little bit noisier than the actual iLoad. So that was a little bit interesting. It was noisier. I was surprised, very surprised on that. The next thing is that the motor has a little bit of a wobble, and I was a little bit surprised on that. So I have spoken to other people who have this exact car and they've done 180, 200,000 Ks on it, not one problem. So whether it be noisy or not, really doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't break down and it's doing everything it needs to be doing, then that's fine. So yeah, I was a bit taken back when I drove it. Just give it a bit of a floor now. So it gets up to speed real quick, no problems there whatsoever. The blind spots, the mirrors, they seem okay. Handling seems okay. It's just like a normal van. Seems kind of nippy. pretty much just like an iLoad to drive. So as far as that, that's okay. The center console's a bit far away here, like, look, see? But it's completely doable. The chair goes up and down and backwards and forwards, so that's fine. I did notice when we put the cargo barrier in, we lost a little bit of room there behind the seats, but that's just the design of the van. It is slightly more narrow than the iLoad and slightly probably shorter. The back cargo area seems to be a little bit smaller than an iLoad. But all things being equal, you know, as long as everything does what it does and it doesn't break down and, you know, acts like a new car and basically runs for years without giving us any problems, then I'll be happy for the money. Okay, so I've just put fuel in it for the first time. I put about 50 bucks in. It took us from a quarter to 3/4. So obviously probably about 100 bucks a tank in our dollar literage. Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention is that when I picked this car up, it only came with a quarter of a tank. And I think if you're going to sell new cars, come on, at least give it a full tank. The next thing is they wanted a $500 deposit because there was only one in stock and all this sort of stuff. So I paid the $500 deposit on credit card. When I was picking up the vehicle, they signed the receipt and it says $500 refunded. That was on the 4th. Today is now the 12th and I still haven't received my refund. So I think a lot of people, when they're confused and buying a car and overwhelmed, they might actually overlook. And when you're looking at the papers and it says refunded on that date, you would automatically expect, oh yeah, we've received our money back. Or what they did is they charged it to our credit card, but they never actually took the money. That's what you would think. They did a pre-approval on it and then, you know, let it return back to the account. But none of those things were true. They did a pre-approval, took the money out, and then a couple of days later got me to sign the paper of the receipt saying we're picking up. Yes, we did. When I got home, I looked at the fine print and it says deposit refunded, which I was a little bit taken back by because they hadn't refunded it. And here's the next thing. If you're a merchant, any merchant knows, if you take money off somebody's key card and, you know, you want to put it back, you can put it back. You can put it back just as quick as you can take it off. So, of course, you know, I had to call them back and say what's going on. And that's something I found to be not very happy about, because, you know, I shouldn't have to follow up that $500 and worry about whether or not it's in the account. People who don't have a lot of payments going in the account, it might show up a lot. But other business people, it might, you know, it'll just blend in, and then you've really got to go through and know if you're actually getting your money back or not. So I found that a little bit shady, and I think, you know, I think maybe they do it deliberately, because if let's say if 5 in 20 people call up and want their, you know, follow up on their deposit, then, you know, what about the other 15 people? 15 times 500, it's a nice little kickback. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was just politics or whatever it is, but cut a long story short, yeah, they're two things I think that could have improved.